You're watching News Channel 4 at 10, the news leader.
We're getting probably 60, 70 mile-an-hour winds on the backside of this tornado coming through. It is tearing up stuff. It is a violent, mean tornado right now. I've seen a house, look like a house, lifted completely off the ground. We got power lines down. The trees are kind of shredded.
This is the kind of damage here you see with EF4 tornadoes. Everything swept off the foundation and strewn about.
Very difficult to tell exactly where that storm path was, but it was evident.
It was definitely there.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
Team coverage tonight on News Channel 4 at 10. 2 confirmed fatalities after deadly tornadoes ripped through our state.
And you could hear that storm's strategic strength. We'll have more of that tragic news in just a moment. But first, tonight, police are searching for a missing 3-year-old.
Daniel Hernandez was last seen around 7 tonight. That was in the 2400 block of North Sterling near Northwest 23rd in Ann Arbor. Few other details are available at this point.
But if you've seen this little boy, please call 911 immediately.
Now, first weather from the Forewarned Storm Team.
And Kevin and Linda, we've had a tornado outbreak in Oklahoma tonight. Some strong and violent tornadoes. They began around 3:30 this afternoon. Of course, we had hailstorms even right here in the metro with tornado warnings just east of Norman. Let's show you what happened today, what's happening right now, and severe weather a little further down the road. Let's go to Jeremy Carter's video here. This is by Wynnewood, Oklahoma, as this tornado, as it developed down by Katy, a little ways south of Elmore City, rapidly gained intensity. This particular tornado was a grinder. It stripped pavement off the highways. It cast a path of red dirt as the tornado was scraping the Oklahoma landscape, and the winds were over 200 miles. Folks, look at the debris. Look how far it is away from the vortex. Look how high up in the sky it is. Now we talk about Justin Cox and Chance Cold Iron here. Multi-vortex. At one point, this tornado had 8 separate tornadoes all spinning around a common center, and the tornado grew from a 1/4 mile wide to approaching a 1/2 mile wide as it approached Interstate 35 and passed just south of Wynnewood, Oklahoma, and also just south of Pauls Valley, a little ways north of Davis and Sulphur. But again, the motion there, the violentness of this tornado, very evident. Amazing video there from Justin and Chance down there in Garvin County. Now check this out. That tornado lifted as it crossed I-35. Then right after that, here came the wedge. This tornado was a mile wide. It also was likely an EF4 tornado, winds well over 200 miles per hour. And at one point, this tornado was so low to the ground it looked like a cloud on the ground. Difficult to actually see it as it was approaching you. That's what maxi tornadoes look like when weather is at its worst in Oklahoma. And we had that today. Amazing video there from Chance and Justin, and that was over there not too far southwest of Roth, Oklahoma, coming into Pontotoc County. So let's see what we had going on today. Currently, the watches and warnings, they have expired. But we had a tornado outbreak from central down through south central and southeast Oklahoma. And the tornado paths look like this. Take you down to Garvin County. Began at Katy, south of Elmore City, shortly after 3:30. We broke in during Jeopardy and stayed on the air all evening long. That tornado lifted just past I-35 south of Wynnewood. Then the wedge tornado took over, and it lifted on the southern sides of Roth. And then from Chopper 4, and Kevin and Linda have video of that amazing tornado coming up. This was a tornado near Connerville, causing that fatality there near Bromide, and then more tornadoes in far southeastern Oklahoma in Choctaw County. Long track tornado there as well, and a little brief tornado east of Norman. There's the OU campus near Little Axe, briefly touching down from Emily Sutton, and then we had a tornado pass 7 miles north of Stillwater and move due northward up into sections of Morrison up in Noble County. Kevin and Linda, a lot of pictures from our viewers coming up. Also more severe weather in the cards here for Wednesday. That forewarned forecast is coming up.
Thank you very much. And our ground crews did a great job of tracking those tornadoes. But I'll tell you what, you have to be in the air to get a grasp of the sheer power of Mother Nature.
Homes shredded, others scraped from their foundations, green landscape replaced by Oklahoma's harsh red clay. Tonight, a look at some of the incredible images captured by Bob Moore Chopper 4 pilot John Welch.
You can see that's the bottom of it. It's actually a pretty high base tornado. We get around this scud cloud. We'll come back around and give you a little bit better shot, but this tornado is about 900 to 1,000 feet in the air. we're still down here just kind of surveying all the damage of each one of these houses. There's probably 5 or 6 that have been hit in here, and you can just see that car obviously was not parked in the pond before the tornado. And we're sitting here just pretty much northeast of Davis, northwest of Sulphur, shooting back towards the east here. And we're going to show you that when we were following this storm, our trackers on the ground said that this was a mile-wide tornado. And we're going to show you just how we can tell how this truly was a mile wide. Looking on the far south part of the storm here, that's going to be a county road, and you can see the tree damage, the house damage. Jack's going to zoom out and then pan all the way a mile north to the next county road section that runs east-west, and you're going to be able to see all the tree damages from the far south to the north. And then right there on that next county road, you're seeing the damage. So for this particular portion, just southeast of Wynnewood, you can just see how wide this storm was. As our storm trackers called it a mile wide, this is how we can tell after the fact that it truly was a mile wide. Luckily, there's not any houses in between in the middle of this storm, or this could have been a particularly bad spot.
Wow, John and our photojournalist Jack Chin noticed the random path of those storms too.
One home would be destroyed as we've seen it before. One home next to it left untouched.
2 people have been confirmed dead at this hour. One person in Johnston County in the town of Bromide, the other an elderly man near Katy in Garvin County. That's where we find News Channel 4's Kristen Shanahan.
Late this evening, we learned the identity of the man who was killed. Is that right?
Linda, his name was Chester Barnes, and he was 76 years old. He lived right next door to this family, and you could just see what the tornado did to their home. It is in pieces now. A woman was home time when the storm hit, and she told us about those terrifying moments. Miles of devastation after a tornado ripped through Garvin County. Lisa Buckner just got home when the storm hit.
I was scared, but I mean, it was just, it's kind of like undescribable.
Barely making it in her cellar, she bunkered down.
Started praying, and then I could just hear it sounded just like a train. Just sounded just like a train.
When she came out, this.
I think I kind of went into shock a little bit. I just started crying, and I couldn't believe what I saw.
Her family especially heartbroken after learning their neighbor was killed.
He was a good man. Yeah, a real good man.
They're holding on to each other as they pick up what's left of their home.
I'm just going to pick up and go. Just thank God. And my granddaughter's okay, and my family's here to help, and just going to do it.
And she's really thankful for that storm shelter she has. Now, we haven't heard of any human injuries, but Garvin County Sheriff's Office did confirm that there were some livestock that were killed and injured. We did see a donkey earlier who was being treated for his injuries. Thankfully, we're told he's going to be okay. Reporting live in Garvin County tonight, Kristen Shanahan, News Channel 4.
Thank you, Kristen. And of course, we were told that some people were transported from Sulphur with injuries. We'll continue to follow up with them. News Channel 4's Adam Snyder continues our team coverage.
And Adam, you saw firsthand the power these storms have inside of them.
I certainly did, Kevin. I can tell you that over in nearby Johnston County, damage was very similar to this. Trees toppled over, rivers running into the road, and I spoke with a family who rode out the tornado in their living room. Staring down a possible EF4 tornado, Curtis Tweedy had nowhere to turn.
My wife says, "Here comes one." I said, "Yeah, I hear it coming, but where are we gonna go, woman? We ain't got no place to go. You know, this is gonna be my time." But
out here in rural Johnston County, he and his wife simply grabbed onto their house and hung on.
oh, I was hanging on for 9 kinds of dear life. I don't want no more of this, though. One time's enough for me.
As the storm settled, so too did debris. His house moved 4 feet. Animals on the loose all over.
Barn tore up, my house tore up, my rabbit pen tore up, my chicken pen tore up. I lost one of my dogs, too.
What kind of dog?
She was a half lab and a half boxer. Okay. House fell on top of her.
But Tweedy's taking the high road, ready and raring to rebuild.
I'm gonna regroup and Cadillac. Hell yeah.
Now, as for a living situation, Curtis lost a boat, but not the building itself. He says he will continue to live in the home. Reporting live near Sulphur, Adam Snyder, News Channel 4.
It sounds like he's not going anywhere.
He's been through it.
He has. Murray County Emergency Management reports damage to homes, outbuildings, and as you saw behind Adam, power lines.
And tonight we do know that the American Red Cross has been called to assist with residents who have no place to stay. News Channel 4's Abby Broyles has this forewarned storm report.
She joins us now just north of Sulphur with more on the damage that she found there. Abby?
Yeah, guys, we're on Highway 177 near Caldwell Road in Murray County, and what we have seen out here today is that pattern, Linda, you mentioned earlier, a tornado destroying one home, leaving the home next door unscathed. Behind me, you can see power lines down, and behind me further than that, a home completely destroyed today in the tornado. I talked to that family as they were going through things today, picking up pictures and keepsakes, those things you just can't replace. Several families doing the same thing after today's tornado ripped through. Everywhere you look, you can see the power of Mother Nature. Chimneys snapped in half, a kitchen table left standing, but no roof overhead. A family devastated over the loss of their home. Israel Guerrero and his family are safe, but they have a lot of cleaning up to do. He rushed home as soon as the storm passed.
I thought everything was gone.
His house is still standing. His neighbors weren't as lucky. Power lines are down all around his home, the tornado leaving his land looking like a scrapyard.
It did all kinds of damage over there, but I don't care. That can get replaced.
Down the street, state troopers and Murray County deputies directing traffic. Down power lines and debris all over the roads, creating big problems.
The damage is about between a half a mile to a mile wide. So we got pretty much the whole county to cover. So we're having a lot of manpower come out and have to do traffic control and block these county roads.
About a half dozen homes were destroyed in the area. Authorities urging people to stay away until crews clear the roads and fix the power poles. Families who live in this rural area thankful for what they do have left.
I guess we're lucky, that's all I can say.
And the good news tonight, we don't have any injuries to report from out here in Murray County. Authorities are again urging people to stay away from the area if possible. There are lots of trees and down power lines still in the roads. OG&E expects to have the power restored sometime tomorrow. Reporting live in Murray County tonight, I'm Abby Broyles, News Channel 4.
We appreciate all the people who will be working all night to get that done. Now, it's very odd because when the storms moved through one part of the state and then left, people started cleaning up. And then all of a sudden, they struck again.
Our news crews were actually already on the ground surveying the damage when a tornado fired up west of Stillwater. Impressive lowering, look at that, sent to us from a viewer. Just the size of this cloud and the lowering let our chasers know that a tornado was on its way. News Channel 4's Lance West was following the storm in Stillwater tonight.
Tornado damage here on the Noble-Payne County line is extreme. You can see behind me there are power poles across the rural roads here, metal strewn in trees all over the place. But when you talk to the folks in this area, they actually feel blessed tonight that it wasn't a whole lot worse.
That's the way it is. It's not bad.
George Zink and his wife saw the twister over the horizon and hightailed it out of here. Looks like all your four-legged buddies did okay.
Yeah, that's what counts. Anything that lives, you know, they're part of the family.
But when they returned in about an hour, it was clear Mother Nature spared no mercy.
Look how many trees I don't have anymore.
The violent twister clipped several homes out here in the country, downed power lines, even peeled the bark from trees. Noble County crews and volunteers arrived quickly to assess the damage and begin cleaning tornado debris. No lives lost, no injuries out here.
I think it's an act of God, and we thank God for that, you know, so you bet.
Nice to have an advance warning.
Yeah, definitely.
George lost some sentimental property.
This is the swing that you and your wife like to relax on. Well, I bought that for her anniversary years and years ago. It ain't gonna work no more.
But he is still grateful to have survived his fourth tornado in 68 years living in Oklahoma. In Noble County, Lance West, News Channel 4.
Next in weather.
Well, our time lapse from our camera down at the South Doppler radar sure foretold of the violent day today in Oklahoma. Nice sunset there, but man, look at those storms there going up over more earlier today. Also the one off in the distance in Stillwater. Well, there is more severe weather heading our way. It's going to be late Wednesday. I'll talk about that timeline and some pictures too to show you coming up.
Plus, amazing video from you, News Channel 4 viewers. Your view of tonight's deadly storms. Coming up.